So we're going through the book of Matthew. And something that's been on my mind is how to be satisfied with what you're doing with your life. You know, in the mind of a person, there's so many ideas and so many thoughts of what we need to do. And you can overwhelm yourself with the thoughts of what you need to do. And I've said it before, you know, I have learned from personal experience. You can overwhelm yourself with the thoughts of the amount of things you need to get done. And what I found is that you don't find satisfaction in the amount of things you do. You find satisfaction in the value of the things you do. When you recognize the value of what God's called you to do, it's so much easier to get up and do it. All that indecision, all that inaction, all those overwhelming thoughts that keep you stuck in your head, so that everything's in your head and nothing's happening in your life. And where all the things going on in your head are preventing you from doing all the satisfying things you could be doing with your life. Instead of trying to work things out in your head, it'd be so much helpful to recognize the voice of God, to recognize what God's calling you to do, and do it, and then experience the satisfaction in doing it. So we're going through the book of Matthew, and this is where we're up to. Herod has just learned from the Magi that a newborn king is born in Herod's region in Bethlehem. And hearing that a newborn king is to be born in his region, he sees that newborn king as a threat to his power. He tells the Magi are men who study the stars, and they're following a star that they've seen in the sky that is leading them to the Messiah. And Herod tells the Magi that once they find the Messiah, Herod tells the Magi to come back to Herod and inform him of exactly where the child is so that Herod can worship the child. But secretly, Herod plans to kill the child because Herod sees anyone who's a threat to his power as someone that needs to be destroyed. The Magi are warned in the dream to not return to King Herod. So King Herod has no idea which child in Bethlehem is the Messiah, so Herod decides to kill every infant child in Bethlehem. Every child under the age of 2, every child of 2 years and younger. He sends his men to kill them all. Matthew's gospel says that after the Magi left Joseph and Mary and the baby Jesus, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph, warning him, "Get up, take the child and his mother and escape to Egypt. Stay there until I tell you, because Herod is going to search for the child to kill him." So Joseph got up, he took his wife and the newborn Jesus, and in the night he left for Egypt. And Joseph, Mary, and Jesus stayed in Egypt until King Herod died. And they left in the night. They had to leave Bethlehem before King Herod's men came. And they went back and they went to Egypt. They went where King Herod would never find them. And it's kind of ironic. Herod's act of killing every newborn child in Bethlehem has a strong resemblance to what the Pharaoh did during the birth of Moses hundreds of years ago. When Moses was born, the Pharaoh feared the growing number of the Israelites. He was fearful that the growing number of the Israelites would lead to the Israelites overpowering the Egyptians. In the New Testament, we have King Herod making the decision to kill every newborn child in Bethlehem. And at the start of the book of Exodus, in the Old Testament, we have the Pharaoh making the decision to kill every newborn male Hebrew child. So these two kings, hundreds of years apart, are making very similar decisions based on the same evil desire in their heart. Very similar decisions stemming from the same desire. They practically have the same evil desire in their heart. The desire to kill anyone and anything that they see as a threat to their power. It's crazy that the Pharaoh and King Herod made the same decision to kill newborn children out of fear that the power they had was under threat. So it's ironic that when Joseph is in charge of taking care of Jesus, that Joseph is told by the angel to go to Egypt. Joseph is told by the angel to go to Egypt for safety, to be safe from the king who'd ordered his men to kill every newborn in Bethlehem. When there was a time, and fascinating that there was a time in Egypt when the Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, had ordered his men to kill every newborn Hebrew Israelite child, every newborn male Hebrew child, when God's people were in Egypt. It's interesting that God is showing us that the evil that was once in the heart of the Egyptian Pharaoh, the evil that was once in the heart of the king of Egypt, that same evil is now in the heart of King Herod in Judea. The evil that God's people experienced in Egypt, that evil was not exclusive to Egypt. What God's people endured in Egypt was not exclusive to Egypt, because that same evil was in the heart of King Herod hundreds of years later in a completely different region. So Joseph did not have time to waste. He got up, he took his wife and the child, and in the night he escaped to Egypt with them. They stayed in Egypt until King Herod died. So they left Egypt only when King Herod died. And after Herod died, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream. While Joseph and his family were in Egypt, the angel said, "Arise, take the child and his mother, and go to the land of Israel, for those who were trying to take the child's life are dead." So Joseph got up, he took the child and his mother, and he went to the land of Israel. But when Joseph learned that Herod's son Archelaus was king in Judea in place of his father Herod, Joseph was afraid. Joseph was afraid that Herod's son Archelaus would pose the same threat as his father Herod. Matthew's gospel says that Joseph was also warned in a dream, implying that the same angel, a heavenly presence, warned Joseph in a dream about the threat of an ungodly king ruling Judea. So Joseph withdrew to the district of Galilee, and he and his family lived in a town called Nazareth. And Nazareth was where Jesus grew up. That's why he's often referred to as Jesus of Nazareth. So let's wind the clocks back. Herod's men were on their way to slaughter every newborn child in Bethlehem, every infant child of 2 years and under. When Joseph was warned by an angel about Herod's decision, Joseph did not have time to waste. And Joseph would have instantly recognized that this was his purpose. His purpose was to take care of Jesus. His purpose on earth was to take care of the newborn Jesus and his mother. Joseph did not waste any time as he took the child and his mother and escaped to Egypt with them. And I find this so helpful because for a lot of my life I've struggled with time management. I've been deceived by the lie in my head that you find satisfaction in the amount of things you get done. But I've said before, satisfaction is not found in the amount of things you do. Satisfaction is found in the value of the things you do. That you find satisfaction in doing things that are valuable. And I've learned you recognize what is most valuable when you realize what would be most valuable to others. You recognize what are the most valuable things you need to get done when you realize what would be most valuable to others. And what could be more valuable than sharing the presence of Jesus with others, with the world? What could be more valuable? There is nothing more valuable than holding on to the presence of Jesus. Jesus himself said, all you need is a mustard seed of faith. All you need is a willingness to do everything possible. All you need to do is recognize the presence of Jesus, the merciful and empowering presence of Jesus, and recognize it as the most precious and most valuable thing on earth. Treat it like the most precious and the most valuable thing on earth, and all will be well, because it is the presence that points people to our Father in heaven. So treat it like the most valuable thing on earth, and all will be well. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you next time.